Hey guys, how's it going? I am WWE Hall of Famer Lita, welcoming you to General Admission Wrestling.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was more nervous than I've ever been to fight at Nitro. At one point, Chris Danger really had me questioning whether I made the right call to take that match. I think everyone has that moment at some point in their lives. The only question is where you go. And I wanted to go to Nitro. I wanted to put Chris down. I don't care how close we were before. You don't insert another man into your blind quest for relevance. I had to win that match. So now, moving forward. Welcome to Friday Night Storm. We're getting that mess cleaned up in the back right now as Chris Danger just can't keep his hands to himself. Of course, that's something we've known about him for a while, and I kind of suspected he wouldn't be able to handle that loss to Consequences Creed at Nitro. But welcome here to Bandido, the man who opened Friday Night Storm for Season 3 last week by defeating former world champion Pac. Now he's got another chance against another equally difficult wrestler. By the way, folks, check out our Discord. Link is down in the description. If you want some exclusive news or you just want to hang out with the greatest community in wrestling, it is all over there. Our Discord members were the first to learn of Tristan Archer defending his WXW Unified Championship last week in the main event on Storm, a title that Drew McIntyre now holds. And we will see him in the main event tonight. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you join the Discord. I think Bandido has a little bit of a British thing going on right now. Took on the Bastard Pac in the opener last week, and now he's got Tyler Bate, the big strong boy, in the opener this week. Bate, of course, it's been said before that he hasn't been able to really pull it together in GAW, at least teaming with Pete Dunne, but that, of course, does not mean that Bate hasn't had some success in GAW. Teaming with Trent Seven, he fought for the Tag Team Championships 3 separate times. This is a guy who knows what he's doing in both the singles and tag team divisions. It makes him a very difficult opponent here to face for Bandido, but of course Bandido seems up for the challenge. Later on tonight, as I said, Drew McIntyre, the WXW Unified Champion, will be in the main event after a shocking win last week on Storm. We will also see Ember Moon's next challenger make an appearance, and so much more. Let's see what we can get out of this one. Bandido, it was a comprehensive defeat of Pac for Bandido last week, but Bate is a completely different animal. For as good of an athlete as he is, he possesses strength as part of his game that Pac, even though he is as strong as they come, pound for pound, one of the strongest men in the world, he doesn't leverage it the same way that Tyler Bate does. A lot more grapples that you'll see from Bate as opposed to Pac, who used more of that striking game. But Bate now going up top looking for the 450. Maybe Bate gonna change his strategy a little bit here against the former Intercontinental Champion. Hooks the leg, Bandido kicks out. That's something we've seen from Bandido before. He's not the fastest starter in the world, but a beautiful springboard tornillo. Not the fastest starter, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And we certainly learned that last week against Pac, as Bandido even survived a brutalizer attempt. And he hit an unbelievable fall-away slam to win that match, and it just goes to show you how good Bandido truly is, how much he can do. GTS from Bandido. Just such a varied game for Bandido, and for a luchador, that's not always something you expect. First cover of the match here for Bandido, hooks the leg, Bate kicks out. For as great as luchadors are, they don't tend to be the most versatile in the world. In fact, it's European wrestlers that tend to be very versatile, just as a general rule, but Bandido certainly breaks the mold. He is as versatile as they come, and you can see it here as Bandido blasts him with a couple of huge strikes and a gut buster. That's some European stuff right there. That wouldn't be out of place on a Red Pro show. Of course, we now have one of the best, crowned one of the best wrestlers in Europe, Drew McIntyre. Oh, standing shooting star, but Bandido got the knees up. So we'll see. Oh, Bandido again with that flipping follow-away slam, put Pac away with it, hooks the leg, no! Bate kicks out, and just the torque, the speed that Bandido uses on that is unreal. Irish whip into the corner goes Bate, and now Bandido surely ahead at this point in the match, but Bate fights out of that situation. This is what we saw against Pac as well. Bandido has standing Spanish fly. He has so much that he can do athletically. It is just almost impossible to counter him in almost anything he does. Bate, again, fights out of the corner, does it well. And now Irish whip, Bandido into the corner, and now Tyler Bate lights him up with some right hands, right to the jaw, and a European uppercut finishes it off. Similar approach to what we saw from Pac as well. This is what we saw Pac do, and now Tyler Bate, a couple stomps in the corner, hooks the leg, Bandido kicks out. Pac definitely fell behind in the early stages of the match, but he was able to come back and again, even lock on the brutalizer or get close to locking on the brutalizer. So we'll see if Tyler Bate comes in with a similar strategy, if he'll try to go for maybe that Tyler driver. Bandido again, Irish whip into the corner, and now up onto the top goes Bate. Bandido, what's he thinking from here? Bandido backs him up with that strike. Now Bandido from the top, it's a fall-away slam from the top rope into the cover. Bandido beautifully done, and Bandido walks out of here with a win. That is class from Bandido. The luchador, former Intercontinental Champion. Again, lots of weapons, and he uses yet another here against Tyler Bate. Rey Mysterio loves it. Bandido, 2 openers, 2 wins in this very young Season 3. No secrets. I'm Ember Moon's next challenger. My whole time in GAW, I've destroyed the fake legacies other women thought they left. Ronda Rousey became the first world and US champion. She lost the world title in a month. Then Casey Catanzaro achieved the same thing. But you all remember she was US champ for 2 weeks, right? Team Kick saw to that. So in comes Dakota Kai, the greatest wrestler GAW has ever known. And I mean that. No one has had to deal with the quality of wrestling we have in GAW today. Quality that Team Kick helped create, by the way. I'm sick and tired of the disrespect I see for all our accomplishments in GAW. Do you have any idea where the wrestling in this company would be without us? Not one person out there gets it. Not one person in the back gets it. That's the burden of greatness. And I'm afraid that no one can really understand it. But that's why I must be US champion. Casey Catanzaro and Ember Moon are going to ruin this company. They don't possess the necessary vision or ability to keep this thing going. GAW is going to collapse without Team Kick, I can guarantee you that much. Ember Moon is no role model. She was in the right place at the right time. Team Kick makes places and times right. We make GAW the greatest company in the world. And I will make the US title the greatest championship in the world. Obviously. Well, Dakota Kai certainly means business coming after that US title. I'll tell you who else means business is Bandido, a fast 2-0 start for the former Intercontinental Champion. He will be in action next week against a mystery opponent in a #1 contenders match for Keith Lee's World Championship. That's right, could be anyone in the world facing Bandido. Let's hear from Bandido's mentor, Rey Mysterio. Winning the Intercontinental title was the greatest honor for Bandido and LAX. The history of that championship speaks for itself, and now Bandido is a part of it. But that doesn't mean we don't have other ambitions. If Bandido aims to be the greatest wrestler in the world, he has to win the biggest matches, defeat the greatest opponents, and that's exactly what he plans on doing next week. Before anyone asks, no, I don't know who the mystery opponent is next week. They don't really tell me anything around here. But I certainly wouldn't be the first to take on a mystery opponent as the champ, so I won't back down. I wouldn't back down from Bandido either, despite everything he's done. He's earned every single thing he's gotten in GAW, and I respect that. But I'm not going to sit back and watch it happen, waiting to see who I will fight next. I have some say in how this goes. I still have a lot to prove, and I can't think of a better man to prove myself against than the new WXW Unified Champ. I want to be the first world champion to fight another world champion. There's so few firsts to be had in GAW anymore, and I would be honored to finally have one. And I will be honored to do it in the main event. Keith Lee not backing down, and if you didn't already guess, yes, it is Keith Lee versus Drew McIntyre in the main event tonight. GAW World Champion against WXW Unified Champion. It's going to be nuts. Dangerous women in the world, Shayna Baszler. She got into it with Casey Catanzaro last week on Storm, even attacked Catanzaro after a little war of words. So Baszler is certainly not the most popular woman out there right now, but I think that's exactly where she wants to be. Former member of the White Company, a former US champion in her own right. So we got the battle of two former champs, but two women going in completely different directions, I think. As Shayna Baszler made it clear last week, her goal is the World Championship. Rosita, no Hernandez in her corner, so I'm not exactly sure where Rosita is at right now in terms of her mentality, but I hope she's got her mind right, because dealing with Shayna Baszler, you need to be all there to even attempt it. Let's see what she's got. Folks, follow us on social media, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Links are all down in the description. Get exclusive announcements. Relive some of the greatest moments from GAW all in one place. It's also one of the places where we can grow our community. So if you love hanging out with the best wrestling fans in the world, like all of us do, then go follow us there, and we'll find more and more people to come be a part of the greatest community in wrestling. I already told you to join the Discord earlier. More exclusives coming at you every week. Of course, our Rookie of the Year series beginning in just a couple of weeks, so we'll have more updates on that over in the Discord as well. So this would be the time to join. Irish whip into the corner goes Rosita. Again, both women, former U.S. champions. So obviously these are two women who know what they're doing. But look at this, Baszler from the top rope as Rosita starting to slide through the arms. But Shayna Baszler, this is such a different kind of attack pattern than we've seen. When you look at, obviously, our last match, Bandido against Tyler Bate, that was vicious. It was high-paced, not something that we're seeing now from Baszler and Rosita, but Baszler off the top rope, not something we usually see from her, into the cover after dropping the elbow on the throat. Rosita kicks out. It's also probably a lot different than what we're gonna see from McIntyre and Lee coming up in the main event. We're also going to get to hear from the former tag team champions, the Skymen. That'll be coming up next. Several members of the White Company back in action already. Rosita float over DDT. As we got Baszler here, I said we'll see the Skymen coming up next. So a couple of those former champions. Rosita off the ropes. Rosita was looking for that knee strike, taught to her by Hernandez, but Shayna Baszler got the best of her on that one. Beautiful takedown from Baszler, and now you can see the MMA training come out. Shayna Baszler transitions into the top mount beautifully, and now Baszler gets Rosita up. Baszler with a street cutter. I don't know if I've seen that from her before, but it's very effective. Rosita kicks out. Well, I liked it anyway. Baszler now may be looking to finish this. We know what this is the prelude to. Stuck in the prey. But Rosita catches the leg as Baszler might have been looking to put in that Kirifuda clutch, and she goes flying over the top. Rosita really using the leverage to send Baszler over the top rope. Who will be the mystery opponent next week for #1 contendership? And we've already seen mystery opponents. We've already seen so much just in the first 2 weeks of GAW returning here in Season 3. So who might that be? I mean, it could literally be anyone in the world. And you heard Keith Lee say he wouldn't be the first to challenge a mystery opponent for the title. Of course, Brock Lesnar did it when Kazuchika Okada came in, challenged for the GAW World Championship, and Lesnar beat him in an incredible match, one for the ages. So Lee, you know, he watched all that go down, and he certainly knows the stakes if someone new were to come in. But given Bandido's incredible run of form so far in this early season, don't count him out under any circumstances. Baszler doing a great job working with this clock here. And now on the outside, Baszler looking for a power bomb, but Rosita able to come over the top, and she had no choice but to turn that into a sunset flip. Obviously can't do the job out here. Oh, Rosita with a DDT as Baszler again went for another lift. Rosita getting the best of her here, and Rosita still eats a DDT regardless. Baszler just keeps coming. She's like a tank. There is nothing Rosita can do against this offensive onslaught from Shayna Baszler, who again breaks the count in the ring, and now we'll see if she allows Rosita to get back in. Rosita taunting Baszler, saying, hey, come out here, come to the outside, fight me. No, Baszler's not gonna do it, too disciplined. Instead, she waits for Rosita to come back in the ring. Baszler, suplex, transitions, Kirifuda clutches in. Baszler has it locked in. Does she have the forearm under the chin? She does. Rosita taps out. Stunned silence from the fans as Shayna Baszler baited Rosita. Rosita tried to get her to come back to the outside, and Shayna Baszler, too good, too smart. And maybe she's got a point. Baszler coming for Casey Catanzaro's World Championship. Let's go now. The Skymen, you can see them coming to the arena. We are going to get to hear from the tag team champions in Momo. Oh, whoa! Whoa, what the hell is... oh my God. Oh my God, the House of Black. Dear God, what is Aleister Black doing? See the beautiful WXW Unified Championship around McIntyre's waist. Here is how he won it. Tristan Archer came through, the incredible French technician, making his first defense of the title last week in the main event on Storm. It was the first time ever that a WXW title has been defended on GAW programming. First time that a non-GAW title has been defended since season 1. But it was the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Drew McIntyre puts Archer away with his own gut-wrench suplex, and now McIntyre with the beautiful silver belt, claiming himself as one of the greats in European wrestling. We already knew how great Drew McIntyre was, but now he joins a list that includes names like Ilya Dragunov, Timothy Thatcher, Tristan Archer, Marty Scurll, Big Van Walter, yes, and Zack Sabre Jr. Those are the men who have held that championship before. McIntyre is in some great company.
Oh, bask in his glory, for he is limitless.
Yeah, but that's a pretty nice belt that Keith Lee's got in his hand as well. The GAW World Championship that Keith Lee won at Nitro 11. Defeating Brock Lesnar, handing Brock only his second loss in GAW and his first for the World Championship. Stopping Brock's record chase in its tracks, and now Keith Lee already making an impact. He said last week that he knew that there was no way he'd be able to chase Lesnar's record in the way that Lesnar did. He's just a different guy. But this is how you make history. This is how you make your name as GAW World Champion. You do something like this. And this will be, I don't need to tell you, the first time this has ever happened. A GAW World Champion facing a World Champion from another promotion. And it's happening right now on Friday Night Storm. Can you even believe the scenes right now? By the way, folks, we all love Keith Lee's entrance theme. We all love the music in GAW, so make sure you check out our Spotify playlist. Link is down in the description. All the music from across GAW all in one place. All bask in Keith Lee's glory. The GAW World Championship has never looked so good. And now we will get to see it go up against one of the greatest wrestlers in Europe. WXW versus GAW. So we are getting to see history 2 weeks in a row here. Oh, Keith Lee answers McIntyre. Big time chop. And now Lee already gets McIntyre up into the air. For most men, it would take him all match to wear McIntyre down enough to do something like that. For Keith Lee, that's his first offensive move. And that is how good the world champion is. Mixing the strength, the speed, the power, the agility with a killer mentality that he developed at the end of last season, and now an overhead German with the release. Keith Lee, look at how hot the GAW World Champ is starting this match. Exactly what you want to see if you are a fan of GAW. Now, if you're a fan of European wrestling, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of that from McIntyre. No disrespect at all to Tristan Archer, one of the great technicians in the world today, but he does not have the same combination of offense that Keith Lee possesses. Lee up to the top. He's comfortable up here. He won the title with a shooting star press. Now Lee from the top, a flying cross. McIntyre ducks underneath, but Keith Lee able to continue the offensive onslaught as McIntyre was just able to get out of the way of a devastating high cross. That boot caught. Now McIntyre looking to put some offense in himself. We saw him fight a very European-style match against the Catch-as-Catch-Can master in Tristan Archer. We're going to see something a little different here to take down Keith Lee. I don't think technical ground-based stuff is going to help him right now against the GAW World Champ. By the way, folks, check out the website, generaladmissionwrestling.com. Read full recaps of every show as they happen. You never have to miss a minute. Or see the full histories of all of our championships dating back to 2005. Keith Lee with a single leg Boston Crab on the outside, wearing McIntyre down. Look at how far he's sitting back on this one. Lee just hoping to wear down. Oh, Lee! McIntyre thought he was coming in with a big time right, and Keith Lee rope-a-doped him. Here's a little bit of trivia for you, by the way, about the GAW World Championship. If we ever were to have a little GAW trivia night, this is why you should join the Discord, by the way, for things like that. Oh, Keith Lee, powerbomb! Oh my God! Lee is unstoppable. Anyway, first foreign-born world champion in GAW was Kazuchika Okada back in 2013. Beat AJ Styles for the title at Nitro 2, so there you go. Lee suplex to McIntyre, and this match is all Keith Lee. How good is the GAW World Champion as he flatlines McIntyre right into the barricade? How good is this guy? This is a totally new mentality than we've seen from Lee. We always knew how much potential he had, but now we're actually seeing that in practice, and we're seeing everything about Keith Lee's game come together. He is mentally there. He is physically as good as anyone has ever been in general admission wrestling, and we're seeing what that all amounts to. This is one of the most dominant performances I've seen, given the fact that he's going up against one of the best European wrestlers on the planet. McIntyre finally able to get himself some space, now trying to pass Keith Lee's guard with the ground and pound. Doesn't quite work, but McIntyre does get himself an opportunity. Now we'll see if McIntyre wants to get back in the ring. DDT on the outside, and McIntyre might find himself an opening right now. McIntyre, a former Intercontinental Champion in GAW, a great Intercontinental Champion in his time. A World Championship short of the Triple Crown, as he is also a former Tag Team Champion with Pete Dunne, another European wrestling great. Feels like half this match is taking place on the outside, as both these guys understand that in a 10-minute time limit situation, there's only so much damage, and these are two of the toughest men in the world. Now McIntyre is lighting up Lee on the ground. You might be able to do some extra damage on the outside, but you got to be inside the ring to win. McIntyre climbs back in. Is he going to wait for Lee, or is he just using this to break the count? No, he will just break it, and back out he goes. More damage. He's trying to do more damage anyway to Keith Lee, and he's going to do it. as he drops Lee right on top of the apron. Lee now trying to deal with the rapid change in momentum. Sends McIntyre back in, and now both men back in the ring. McIntyre takes Lee down with the lariat, and now McIntyre, he's got a whole new level right now as McIntyre turns on the jets, puts down Keith Lee. McIntyre hooks the leg. Lee kicks out. McIntyre is on top of Lee right now. And this is what you want to see if you are a McIntyre fan. From the top, diving leg drop. Didn't land, but McIntyre double underhooks. Future shock. Well, that's one way to respond. As Drew McIntyre puts down the champ, but he's not done yet. Future shot wasn't enough for Archer, and McIntyre believes it won't be enough for Keith Lee. Now McIntyre gonna load up the Claymore. McIntyre from the corner looking for it. Lee pops him up. Lee, he got him. Lee, spirit bomb. Keith Lee blasts Drew McIntyre, and Keith Lee walks out of here the winner. Unreal. Keith Lee watched him come in, and Keith Lee, what a performance! The GAW World Champion, that is representing Drew McIntyre. He is as good as they come, but Keith Lee, well, you just gotta bask in his glory. Folks, thank you all so much for joining us here on General Admission Wrestling on Friday Night Storm. Be back on Monday for Evolution. Learn more about the Rookie of the Year series starting soon. We will see you then. Join the Discord, check out the website. We appreciate you.
For years and you just still trying.